You know what's funny is that people always say in your 20s, it's meant it's meant to help you figure things out, and for the most part, they're right. Figure what out exactly. It could be your hobbies, your career, your partner, other things that make you you, right? But what they don't tell you is how expensive these lessons can be, and I'm not just talking about financial resources lost away. It could also be physical, other limited resources that are unique and just to be redundant, just very limited to you. I've made some real financial mistakes in my 20s, but I'm not talking about anything small like buying coffee every day, which I didn't. I'm talking about those choices that really delayed my independence, really, uh, really kept down my savings, and really, really made me question if I'd ever get ahead. So in this video, I want to walk you through my biggest financial mistakes, and it's not meant to beat myself up, but to help you avoid some of the traps that I experienced. Because I believe peace of mind with money hits harder than any luxury purchase make will ever. So my first mistake is pretty much living above my means. I think a bit last year too is when I was really okay. Like I felt I just had money. Like that was my mindset. That's what I thought I had, and I didn't realize how easy it was to fall into lifestyle inflation. The moment I got, some extra cash, I'd go upgrade something. It could be new clothes, new tech, more nights out, more dinners with the friends. I always told myself that I deserve it, which kind of makes sense. You do all this work, and it's only logical one can justify that. Hey, it's time for me to go out. Time for me to have some fun. But what I really did was to anchor this life into short-term comfort instead of long-term freedom. So the theme here is to think long-term instead of very impulsive self-gratification. What I've learned is that the peace of having savings beats the temporary high of spending. Living below your means isn't necessarily punishment. I think it's power. I think in video games, remember back in the original Black Ops, I think it came out in 2011. Uh, it's like earning a lot of COD points when it first came out in multiplayer, and you drop everything on as a specific thing, and you don't have enough when it comes to the next unlock. Right? When it comes down to the next mob, you just can't do it, so you have to grind a bit more, and it kind of sucks because you want to buy an attachment, or you want to buy a gun. You just unlocked it too, but you don't have the resources to unlock it. So I think that's the game analogy I want to share with you guys right now. Is you have some in-game currency, but you spend it all on certain things, and you don't have enough for when you want the next thing, right? So mitigate your spending and understand that there are more things to come. We just have to be better and better prepared for it. The second mistake I want to share with you guys is not tracking my spending. I used to think that budgeting is is for people struggling with money. Ironically, that mindset is exactly what kept me from it's what kept me struggling for a while. I had no clue where my money was actually going. I just swipe and hope it balances out at the end of the day. Once I started to track, I realized my small, like $10 moments were draining money out of my account every month. What I learned is that you can't control what you don't measure. So then the purpose here is to understand that whatever is tracked, whatever is visible to you, is what gets prioritized in your head. So it's like trying to win a match without consulting a minimap. If you can't, you just can't see what you can't fix, right? So the third mistake is ignoring an emergency fund. When I got hit with an unexpected when an unexpected bill, it could be a car repair issue, it could be the most random thing that happened that was out of my control. You get the sense of like, oh my god, like maybe I don't have enough. Maybe I don't have enough to cover it. And every single time, like I said, it could be a car issue, it could be a medical bill. It always felt like I was starting from zero again. I thought saving for emergencies could wait until I made a bit more, but the funny part about it is that emergencies do not wait for anybody. So once I built a small emergency fund, even just 1 month of expenses, it started to feel more at peace, knowing that whatever gets hit towards your way, you are able to cover it. So the fourth mistake I want to share with you guys is taking on unnecessary debt. I used to justify credit cards for everything. It's like I pay them off when I get paid. I pay them off when I get hit with the next check. This mindset turned into a helpful tool, and it got me into a financial trap. So interest piled up, and suddenly I was working to pay things that I don't even remember buying to begin with. What I learned in this case is that credit cards aren't evil, but they do demand respect and mitigated usage and a high level of responsibility. So if you can't pay it off monthly, then it's not worth the stress. So don't borrow against your future income. If you have the money right now in cash to buy it over and over again, then that's how you know you can't truly afford it. The fifth mistake is the one that really hits harder in my case. Fifth mistake is just not investing early. So I used to think investing was only for people who had extra money, not someone that's trying to get by. What I didn't realize is that even the small amounts matter. The earlier you start, the more compound works in your favor. I waited too long, and while it's never too late to get started, I wish I had understood this earlier in my 20s, where in your 20s is the prime time to start building momentum. So the sixth mistake I want to share with you guys, I think it's relying too much on one source of income, and this is for the most part ubiquitous for everybody. I used to depend entirely on my job, thinking a steady paycheck was enough. But when hours got cut or when things slowed down, I had no backup plan, right? So learning to build a side income could be through freelancing, content creation, or skills that you generate from work and school. It changed everything because it's about diversifying your income, and it's not about greed. It's about security. So the last mistake 7, is ignoring my financial education. In school, we're not taught about taxes, we're not taught about credit scores or budgeting. I had to learn that the hard way. I used to think money management was just common sense, but it's really just a skill. And as Dave Ramsey always says, is that financial education is 80% behavior and 20% math. We know logically is that the more you put in it and the less you take of it, the more you'd have at the end of the day. So mathematically, budgeting is pretty straightforward, but when you're in the moment and when you're around friends, the financial spending could easily pile up. So I started watching videos, I started asking questions, I started reading a bit more on financial topics, and I started feeling less lost and more in control when I started asking questions on how can I get myself more, how can I be more in control of my finances. So as closing remarks, I think in your 20s it's okay to make mistakes. It's how you learn. It does get expensive after a while if you don't be on top of your financial situation. But if you take anything from this video, let it be this: your financial peace starts with awareness. Don't chase perfection, chase progress, and remember, success feels good, but peace of mind feels better. Mind you guys, that my goal in these videos is to help you both level up in-game and in real life, especially in real life because that's where it matters the most. So if you're ready to stop living paycheck to paycheck and start taking control of your money, then let me know in the comment section what topics you want me to cover. Regardless, I'm here to upload my videos and to talk on certain topics that interest me the most, especially finance. So I hope to see you guys in my next video. Alright then, fellas.